Hello Pisces, I'm here to do a bunch of bonus reads today. I just want to say thank you so much for the way you're loving on me, my water family. I call you my water family because I'm a Pisces moon. So thank you so much for being here and for watching and all the love that you've been showing my videos. And I just want to say thank you with a bonus read. That's what we're doing today. Today is bonus read day. Let's find out what is going on for you. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And hey, don't forget the private reads are open. So look in the pinned comment. You will see a link to Hypsee if you're interested in a private reading. Something there for everybody's pocket. Live or pre-recorded. Tell me about Pisces. What is coming up? Now, Pisces, please be reminded that these readings that are bonus readings can be past, present, or future. You bring your lens and I'll just tell you what I see. Tell me what's going on for Pisces. Tell me about Pisces. Okay, things are falling out of my hand. We'll just take them as they are. We've got the Eight of Wands. We've got the Five of Swords. And we have the Knight of Coins. It feels here that you are reluctant to move forward on something. It seems exciting. It seems fun, Pisces. I feel like you are in this hurry up and wait situation. You want to go, Eight of Wands. It seems like quite a fun adventure or excitement, or you do want to push forward. I feel like, Pisces, I'm going to say that it feels like somebody here feels like their life has been a little bit stagnant lately, that maybe you've been standing in one spot for too long, or you're waiting for something to come of it. I'm just seeing here because it feels like when it does finally show up and it presents itself as something exciting or move forward, it feels like you get up in your head and you're like, I don't know, I got to think this out. Like we've got the Knight of Pentacles here, and that's all Virgo energy, which is really looking at, am I ready for this type of journey? Maybe someone's asked you to go on a trip. Maybe you're going to fly somewhere. It feels like, am I ready to put this much time, effort, and energy into a long-term journey? Am I willing to do that? It feels like something is going to show up for you, and it feels like it might be feeling like it could be long-term, and I feel like you immediately get up in your head the Five of Swords. You start asking questions that maybe you didn't ask when you were asking for the Eight of Wands. Maybe you're just saying, oh God, like this life has been boring for me. Could you just please send me some fun? The fun shows up immediately. You're in your head asking a bunch of other questions. Do I want to go? Is this where I want to spend my time? We've got the Hierophant in the reverse. I don't want to make this long-term commitment. That's what it feels like, because the Knight of Cups is going the Knight of Coins is going very slow, and it is a long journey. And I'm not really sure if you want to commit yourself to this really long journey, because I feel like you're headed for mental burnout about having so many questions. I feel the questions that you have could very well split things down the middle and come to maybe a difference of opinion with somebody. Like if I do choose to go on this month-long trip to Italy with my friend or the person that I'm dating, what if we don't get along when I'm there? What if I really get to know them practically, right? And find out that this is not what I want. So it feels like somebody here is going to be presented with the opportunity to go on a long-term journey, and you're not exactly sure whether you want to commit to that or not. And it's because of the Five of Swords. Do we have fundamental differences? Do I really agree with everything they think of? Can I live with them for that long? The Magician is here. So I think that you have manifested it. Like I said, I felt like at the beginning of the reading that you have manifested this. I really am sort of bored. I really want to do something. And then when it shows up, you're like, oh God, here it is right now. And I've got to make a decision. I don't think you thought your manifestation would show up this quickly, but this manifestation is asking you for an answer. And then we have the Seven of Wands. And now you're in this protective mode, right? It's like, but if I spend a lot of time on this long-term journey, if I do commit to the long-term journey, it feels like here somebody feels as though I feel like I can't make decisions unilaterally, or I have to protect myself or protect what's mine or stand up for myself. And it feels like you've got more questions than answers, honestly. I feel like you're trying to look at it in a very logical way, because the Eight of Cups is here. Should I just walk away from this whole thing and just say, I was mistaken. I don't think I have the money, the time, or the effort to do it. Tell me about the Five of Swords. Why are you all up in your head here? It does feel like you're like, if I do this and it does take a really long time, can I stay with it? Because what if something happens and I don't agree with it? Then what? We've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. I think you'll get your answer, because the Hanged Man in the reverse is the Epiphany. It's the realization. So I feel like after some time of trying to get your perspective, you will get it. It feels like you will get the answer here. We do have the Ace of Wands. I really do feel that you want to go, that you want the excitement, you want the passion of the open road or the open sky. It feels like somebody here really wants the adventure. But I also feel like you are worried that you might burn out with the same person in your presence all the time. We've got the Queen of Cups. I'm going to say that you will know in a moment of alchemy whether this is for you or not, and you will know with a certainty. We have the Queen of Cups, who's water, and then Wands. We have fire and water, which to me is temperance. And I also feel that you are really dependent upon your intuition, which I think is wonderful, right? The Queen of Cups. And it does feel like this is, you know what it is? It feels like it's a deeply emotional thing for you. So whether this is a long-term trip with a friend, or possibly somebody that you've been dating and is saying, look, let's go to Ireland for 2 weeks, or let's go to Canada for 2 weeks. It feels like it's a long road trip and you really got to commit to it. And you're not really sure if you're ready to commit to something like this soon. It feels like it's too soon. When you began to manifest it, you didn't think that you were that quick of a manifester. But I'm going to say it's showing up real quick. And I feel like when it shows up, all of a sudden, you've got the boundaries up. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is it showing up so quick? Let's talk about this Eight of Wands here. I think you're going to decide to do it, because it feels like with the Hanged Man in the reverse here, that's the epiphany and the realization that this is a new path. This is really exciting. And maybe we deepen our connection, whether it's platonic or romantic, because the Queen of Cups isn't always romantic. It's compassionate and kind and loving. It could be a platonic relationship as well. Maybe I might lose my best friend. You know what it is? It's like, have you ever heard that saying? Like, if you really want to know if you're in love, or you really want to know if you get along really well, take a road trip. Like, you take a long-term road trip, and if you are compatible and don't kill each other on the road, I feel like it could be a good relationship, but it feels like this is a really long-term thing that they want you to commit to. So this could be a friendship. This could be, we got the Three of Pentacles, right? So this to me says partnership. It doesn't say love, but this does say to me that there are underlying feelings or deeply emotional things on your side. It feels like with the Three of Pentacles that you are very particular about the kind of person that you would pick to go on an adventure like this. It feels very exciting, very exhilarating, but it also feels for you very practical. I think, Pisces, that you're making a practical decision based on, well, this person does give me cooperation. They cooperate with me a lot. They're really good at collaboration. They're really good at finding the middle ground with me. And the Three of Pentacles is maybe, this is a new community. This is a new building of a foundation, stabilizing the foundation. Maybe this trip will stabilize our foundation. We've got the Nine of Cups. And we got the Five of Cups. Well, there we go. There's the dichotomy of what's going on. I feel like you've spent a lot of time in your life, Pisces, building your happiness to here. It feels like you have been, the Nine of Pentacles is something you build on your own, and I feel like you've become emotionally intelligent or emotionally aware. This is Piscean energy. It feels like you've gone a long, long time in your life to try and get yourself to a place where you no longer depend on the outside conversation, right? The words of others don't make or break you. You're a pretty happy person, but it also feels like the Five of Cups is here, and it's very real. Will I regret? Because it feels like once you get out on the road, it's going to be hard to get back. It's going to cost a lot of time and energy to get back. I could be talking about you entering into a relationship or going on this exciting adventure. It could be a trip for somebody, but a long-term trip. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Two of Swords. That makes sense. We've got the Devil in reverse. I like the Devil in reverse. It feels like you're releasing yourself from something. And we've got the Chariot. I feel like this is saying maybe I should just release myself from this block and move forward. I feel like you are a person with financial discipline. You are a person who's really disciplined in staying on the path and getting to the outcome no matter what, no matter how long it takes you. And I think that's really what's holding you back a little bit. I feel like you no longer want to be attached to wherever you are right now, because it feels like it is really boring, or it's a comfort zone, or you haven't had an adventure in a really long time, or a relationship in a really long time. Two of Swords is crossroads. You're about to make a decision to release some sort of block and move forward quickly with the Chariot. So I think that you might decide to do it, whatever this is, a relationship or an adventure. Tell me why the Hierophant is in the reverse, because I feel like you are hesitating as to whether to commit to the long-term thing, because the Five of Swords is here. Maybe you haven't gotten all your answers to your questions. So it feels like maybe you two do have fundamental differences. There are things that we don't talk about or haven't spoken of yet, because I know that they might cause a rift or an argument. We've got the Moon here. We've got the Sun here. Well, interesting. And the Lovers. But it could happen like that. When I see the Sun and the Moon, it's like it goes from night to day. The choice to go could make this whole thing change from partnership to loveship. It could change everything if I choose to do it. So I feel like although the Moon is telling me that things are not as they seem, for you it's a little bit scary to commit to this relationship, this new job, or this new path, this new adventure, whatever it is. I feel like you are seeing things pretty clearly. And I think that you're really in a very balanced place right now, Pisces. You're not in an illusionary energy. You're not like throwing it all out the window and saying this has potential, I'm going to go. But you're also not completely convinced that you should hold back. I feel like with the Sun and the Lovers here, that you probably feel like making this decision will make you happy, that you will grow. There's a lot of growth to be had on the adventure or the long-term trip or whatever it is. But there's also going to be times when you're going to be in the pocket of the Moon, right? And not going to be able to find your way. So I think that's why you hesitate. So in terms of a deep commitment, I don't think that you have made a decision just yet. Tell me about the Magician, because look, I'm just going to say to you, for those of you who know, you, my friend, are a powerful manifester. Because I don't think you've been manifesting this for very long, because the Chariot's here. It feels like it comes in boom, like that. It feels like maybe, a short amount of time, and you're like, well, I thought I'd have more time to think about that because the Knight of Pentacles is here. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Tower. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Five of Wands. So I feel as though this is a surprise. Your manifestation is showing up so quickly. It's confirming your intuition, but it's also a little bit terrifying because it shows up without notice, and it's sort of shocking. It feels like you were arguing with yourself. I don't know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I think I have some time to make my decision. And then the Tower shows up and shifts everything. And now you feel a little bit burnt out because I think you're thinking about it round and round and round again. Do I have enough energy to do this? Am I just going to get hurt again? Tell me about the Seven of Wands. Tell me about the Seven of Wands for Pisces. I've got the Ace of Cups. Ooh, the Wheel is here. The Page of Cups. I feel like this is supposed to be an adventure for you that's come up in a moment of destiny. This is going to expand your heart. It's going to make you come to terms with things that are good for you. Like I feel like the reason you might not want to fully commit, or you might want like an out, feels like you've got things that you're not necessarily ready to talk about because the person on the Seven of Wands is protecting the doorway. I'm not really sure if I want to let you all the way in to my life. But it does feel like your heart is open and you're ready. The Wheel of Fortune tells me destiny is here. It feels like your heart, you're about to have a change of heart, is what it feels like. This feels really good because the Page of Cups is good news. It feels like this is really good, but I feel like you are sort of surprised that this has shown up so quickly in your manifestation. And you're going to have to make a decision quickly about whether or not you're going to stay or whether or not you're going to go. I think you're going to go. Let's talk about the Five of Swords here. Tell me what the outcome is, because I feel like the reason that you're not ready to fully commit to this is because you are still have so many questions. You have more questions than you have answers. And I think it's because something has turned up really quickly. Something has gone really fast or turned up quickly, and you weren't expecting that. And now you've got all these questions in your head. Look, I don't know you well enough. Do I know you well enough to travel with you? Do I know you well enough to go on this adventure? Do I know you well enough to maybe promise that there might be some sort of commitment down the line? Because I feel like you're a free spirit, Pisces. When the Hierophant comes up in the reverse to me, that's somebody who is not following anybody's doctrine. I'm not following your doctrine. I'm not following tradition. This is somebody who is spiritual, not religious. This is somebody who writes their own doctrine. Somebody who goes against the grain or goes against the grain, makes their own decisions. And maybe you feel like if I commit to it, then somebody's going to hold me down. And I like to be a free spirit. I like to make my own decisions. I don't like not having to check with anyone. We have the Six of Cups. The thing is this person feels like a soulmate friend, or they feel like a soulmate connection. It feels like something that you would really love, or gives you reminiscent vibes of something that felt really good in the past. We get the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So look, I think that I'm going to say this. If this truly is something that is for you, the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Cups being here, if this truly is a soulmate connection, if this truly is somebody that you'll get along with no matter what happens on the journey, because the journey's going to be long. No matter what happens on the journey, I'm going to say that the only way that you're going to find out whether you're compatible with this person or not is just by giving them the gears. Be truthful, be honest. I'm going to say for those of you who are in your feminine energy, whether you're a man or a woman, that you are the person who's responsible for giving the questions, asking the hard questions, and making sure that it's not delivered in a way that's rude or brutal. I feel like the King of Swords is always going to be honest with you, even if it hurts. Do you know what I mean? That's Aquarian energy. So I feel like it's really good for these two people who are highly intelligent, really truthful and honest with each other, to really sit down and speak about the details without the emotions. Are we really soulmates? What does that mean? Literally, what does that mean? Not like, running off into the distance, off into the sunset, illusions, right? Fantasy. No, let's talk about it. So I think that there's going to be, this is the talk that's going to determine what goes on here. Whatever answers, because I've been saying that since the beginning of the reading, right? That the Five of Swords is leading you to more questions than answers. I feel like you're going to get your answers, and you should, before you decide to commit to anything. We have the Seven of Cups, because right now you don't have an answer. And I was talking about illusions, right? The illusion of this feels good. It feels good because the Queen of Cups is here, but is it really good for me? Swords, right? It's the difference between the details and the facts, pulling away the emotional energy, pulling away from Piscean energy, and it's the difference between the facts and really what you really want to happen, what you see in the future. And because you're a Pisces, you see the potential of things that may never happen for 20 years. So the Seven is here, the Seven of Cups is here. I feel like you're going to talk, you've got a lot of things to talk about here and get some clarity on with the King and Queen of Swords having some really important conversation. The Six is here. Look, I feel like this is a soulmate connection. I feel like you two either have known each other from a last life, or you've grown up together, or you know friends who have brought you together, because the Three of Pentacles is here. But it feels like it's going to be a brutal exchange of clarity that is going to dispel the worry. And it may have you move on. It may have you move on, friend. But either way, you get to move on. I'm going to say that's a positive thing, right? It could be looked at as negative, you got to move on. Or it could be looked at, you know what, no more confusion, right? No more chaos in my mind. Now I've got a full picture of what's going on, whether that means you've got to leave and release it or not. So you're going to get your answer. The Two of Cups is here. For some of you, it is deeply bonded emotional connection, whether it's friendship or loveship. And I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you for all the ways that you love me, by the way. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for your hypes if you do end up having a hype button. I know it's sort of off and on with that. But I do appreciate you so much, Pisces. And I'm going to go for now. But I'll be back because I'm always back. I'll be back with the weeklies. Take care, Pisces. Bye-bye.